as I understand, most of you are the same who were yesterday. Still, just to have a brief introduction of Swami Nikhileswarananda. As you all know, he is head of the Vadodara Center of Ramakrishna Mission, and he is basically chemical engineer. He has given so many such presentations on various aspects, not only in such associations, but even in so many corporates also. And today, he doesn't need much introduction, but the major aspect of it is, tomorrow there is one session which perhaps more useful to young generation. It is on the subject, how to win the game of life. How to win the game of life. It is in the first half, morning 9:30 to 12:30, and it is just token amount 200 rupees, which either you people or your children or your neighbors, anybody can think of enrolling in that program. Yeah, so without taking much of the time, I will request Swamiji to switch on this lecture. But before that, I will suggest that whosoever is having mobile, please switch off to have a scintillating session without any disturbance. Yeah, thank you very much. Swamiji, please.
Om Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharine. Dear friends, I am extremely happy to meet you once again this evening. I think most of you were there yesterday. And today's topic, as you know, Swami Vivekananda, a global leader for a global civilization. As you know, Swami Vivekananda was born on 12 January 1863. And so that is why 150th birth anniversary is going to be celebrated all over the world from 2013 to 14. But as a prelude to that celebration, the government of India has got a central committee with the Prime Minister of India as the chairperson, and many programs, particularly for upliftment of the poor, for overcoming the problems of malnutrition, and also various other service projects have been envisaged, and also the spreading the literature of Swami Vivekananda, various publications. So many types of activities have been planned, and to create an atmosphere for that particular celebration which is yet to come, already some preparations have been started. Some projects have been already sort of started, and not only that, as it is, the celebration is continuing from 2010 to 2014, although the actual celebration will start from 2013. And that is why even this discussion today is sort of creating an atmosphere of having that a feeling about Swami Vivekananda, so that we can have a glimpse up to the personality. Now, as you know, globalization has come all over the world. At least on economic front, globalization has come to stay. And the world has been united, at least on physical plane, as never before. The communications technology has undergone tremendous transformation. The physical distance has been annihilated. When Swami Vivekananda started from Bombay on 31st May 1893 for going to Chicago to participate in the World Parliament of Religion, he started on a ship on 31st May 1893, and by the end of June 1893, after 2 months, he reached Chicago. On 18 June 2011, I started from Ahmedabad, morning 4 o'clock. By 12:30 in the afternoon, I was at New York airport. So see, I reached there within 10 hours. Of course, exactly within 8 hours, but if you say there is a time lag, even then also the travel time is not more than 12 hours. So the communication, the whole technology has undergone so much transformation. Not only that, communication technology undergone transformation. With the internet, mobile, STD, ISD, the physical distance has been annihilated. It has become a global village, as they say. But paradoxically, although the physical distance has been annihilated, the human relationships have undergone further degradation, and the mental distances have been increased rather than decreased. Because of the latest communication technology, you can talk to your friend thousands of kilometers away, sitting on your sofa, and there is such a beautiful communication. Previously, when you telephoned from here by trunk call, if you had a trunk call to Bombay, you had to shout. But now, you can listen so nicely, New York, London, thousands of kilometers away, because the communication is being done by satellite technology. Such wonderful communication. But the paradox is that you can communicate very nicely sitting on the sofa, with a friend, thousands of kilometers away. But there is no communication from last 6 months with your own wife sitting on the same sofa. Abola lidha che. So, there is no talking, they are not in talking terms. They are living together because they don't want to take divorce. When the children grow up, then they will take divorce. They are waiting for that. So many such cases. They are living together. Now I am in Baroda for the last 5 years. But before that, I was for 8 years in Porbandar. Before that, for 10 years, I was in Rajkot, editing a Gujarati monthly, Sri Ramakrishna Jyot. At that time, I used to go to Baroda for some lectures. So one day, I was returning from a lecture from Baroda, and I was at the Baroda railway station waiting for a train to go to Rajkot, back to Rajkot. And at a short distance, there was one couple standing, husband and wife. Both were standing nearby each other, but husband was looking at one side, and the wife was looking at the other side. After some time, the husband very politely asked, "Why the train is coming so late?" And the wife roared like a lioness, "Am I the station master that you are asking me why the train is late?" She roared like such loudly that the husband was flung aside 6 feet away, out of fear. I saw with my own eyes. So that is the relationship between husband and wife, relationship between mother-in-law and daughter. Of course, that is a very long, historical, from prehistoric times we have got the Sasu Bahu, that there are so many serials also, Sasu Bahu. So there is Sas Bahu, that serials, and mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. But now, so much generation gap, there is tussle between mother and daughter, brother and brother. So physical distance has been annihilated, but mental distance increased. Not only that, there is no peace in the family, there is no peace in the nation, there is no peace in the society, there is no peace in the world. Where is global peace? We have globalization, but where is the global peace? Global peace is not there. Global peace cannot come unless and until we have a global civilization based on spiritual culture. Samuel P. Huntington, he's written a beautiful book. The name of the book is The Clash of Civilizations and Remaking of a World Order, where he says, for the last 50 years, whatever wars have been fought, we do not know also. So many cold wars are going on between so many countries. We are unaware about it sitting here in India. But so many wars are going on. He says most of the wars are not between two countries. Most of the wars are between civilizations. In the name of countries, actually it is the two civilizations that is clashing together, clashing with each other. and more particularly, it is a clash between Islam and Christianity. Outwardly, we think that the countries are fighting. Outwardly, we feel that the countries are attacking each other. But no, inside that, the inside story of terrorism, inside story of these wars, inside story of all this that is happening is a clash of civilizations. And this is the problem that was solved more than 100 years back by Swami Vivekananda. He is a global leader. If we want to have a global peace, we must have global civilization, and that global civilization will come only we have global leaders who are acceptable to all religions, to all religious people, to all countries, to all types of people, rich, poor, lower caste, higher caste, irrespective of caste, creed, color, religion, nationality. If we have a global leader who will be acceptable to all, he alone can be a real global leader who can solve our problems. And Swami Vivekananda was a born leader. Not only he was a born leader with greatest qualities of all the leadership that any modern CEO should have, but apart from that, he was a world leader, a global leader, with a global vision and a global mission. If you read his life, wonderful life by Swami Vivekananda, life of Swami Vivekananda by Eastern and Western disciples, or life by Romarola, the French Nobel Prize winner. In fact, Rabindranath Tagore told Romarola, if you want to know India, study Vivekananda. In him everything is positive, nothing negative. And then Romarola, when he studied the life of Swami Vivekananda, he was so much enamored. In 1933, he was inspired to write a biography of Swami Vivekananda. In 1902, Swami Vivekananda left his body, entered into Mahasamadhi. After 30 years, Romarola wrote the book on Swami Vivekananda. And then he said, his words are great music, phrases in the style of Beethoven. I cannot touch these sayings of his scattered as they are. Through the pages at a 30th distance, without receiving a thrill through my body, like an electric shock. Swami Vivekananda was a global inspirer with a global message, a global vision and a global mission. So many stalwarts, so many thinkers from all over the world, whether in China, Russia, France, America, India, they are all enamored by the message of Swami Vivekananda. And they understand that Swami Vivekananda's message is a message of a global leader. Swami Vivekananda, he gave his historic speech at the World Parliament of Religion in 1893. And the date on which he gave his speech was 11 September 1893. That was also 9/11. Mind you. And on that day he gave a warning. What did he say? If you want to listen to the exact words, Swami Vivekananda said, sectarianism, bigotry, and its horrible descendant fanaticism have long possessed this beautiful earth. They have filled the earth with violence, drenched it often and often with human blood, destroyed civilization, and sent whole nations to despair. Had it not been for these horrible demons, human society would be far more advanced than it is now. And then he said, but I fervently pray that the bell that tolled this morning in the honor of this convention may be the death knell of all sorts of fanaticism, of all sorts of dogmatism, and of all sorts of persecution, whether with the sword or whether with the pen. But we did not listen to his warning. We did not listen to his message. And that is why there was another 9/11. And the world tower was broken. Mind you, he gave this warning that we must have respect towards all religions. And he said in the Parliament of Religions, we in India, we do not only tolerate all religions, but we accept all religions as equally true. Ekam sadvipra bahudha vadanti. That has been the message of Mother India. India never went out of its bound to attack any country in the world. India's message has been the message of harmony and peace and non-violence. That is why Arnold J. Toynbee, he said, the present chapter of the history had Western beginning. But if the world has to survive from self-destruction in this atomic age, it must have an Indian end. And then he says, Mahatma Gandhi and Emperor Ashoka's principle of non-violence and Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa's message of harmony of religions, these are the messages which will save the whole world from self-destruction in this atomic age. So Swami Vivekananda gave that message. And because he had a universal heart, that is why when he started his speech, a very short speech, sisters and brothers of America, just few words, and all the 7,000 people stood up and they clapped for minutes together. What was that magical influence? Why that magical influence? Why these people stood up? They did not know. But because the words came from the universal heart of Swami Vivekananda, who had realized that universal message, who had realized oneness with the whole universe. And because he felt from the bottom of his heart that really they were sisters and brothers of America, and that is why he touched the hearts of all the sisters and brothers of America, and they all stood up. I was recently in the USA, as I told you last year. I saw that art institute, that historic hall, that historic building. That building still stands today, same building. Only a few buildings now survive, other buildings have been destroyed. But that building where Swami Vivekananda gave his historic speech is still standing, of course. But the interior part has been changed. There were two halls. Those halls have been already demolished. But there is a small Falcon Hall where Swami Vivekananda had given speech. That particular spot, I stood there. And now they have put a plaque in 1995. They have put a plaque that here on this spot, Swami Vivekananda, the great leader of, that great religious leader of India, the great monk of India, had given his historic speech. They have given that. Plaque is there. Nobody else's name is there. So many leaders had come from all over the world. Only Swami Vivekananda's name is there. Not only that, the way opposite, the Art Institute has been given Vivekananda Way in Chicago. So, in fact, American government gives so much of respect to Swami Vivekananda. They brought out a book, 100 great makers of modern America. When one of the name was Swami Vivekananda. 100 great makers of America. And there was a book, the great makers of modern India. Swami Vivekananda's name is not there. That is a paradox. And that is the tragedy. We do not know. In fact, when an American government says, Swami Vivekananda is ours, not yours. Why? Because when he was in India, he was wandering, you did not give him one chapati also. Sometimes he had to starve for 2-3 days. But when he came to America and when we gave respect, then afterwards you gave him respect. So he is a finding of America. So America says Swami Vivekananda is ours. China says, no. He is humanitarian. Zian Hung Chuan, he is a professor in Peking University. He says Swami Vivekananda's message is a message of humanism. He could understand the message of socialism much better than any of the leaders in India. And so he is our favorite hero, Swami Vivekananda. Russian scientists like Rybakov, the Russian thinkers like E.P. Chelysev, all of them say, no, Swami Vivekananda is the only inspiring source for us from India. Because he talked about socialism so long back. And he predicted that the next upheaval will come from Russia or China. At that time, nobody had predicted. Everybody thought the labor movement was very, very prominent in Germany.